Okay, so after the other two videos, remember we made a few copies, and I made a kind of a, laid out of the color just to see how they behave in this kind of paper. And then I worked a little bit on that one, and then I came and I did one more, this time with the floor like it was tile. So, and I started working on little details, how everything was working. Remember all the markers, you can see it on the back, and then adding the color pencils and just playing, with how the light is going to hit the object. And then I did one more copy on the copier paper, and I just went over, and I worked a little bit more just so you can see how everything is turning into a little bit more like three-dimensional just by adding the color pencils and the pastels just to light up some of the areas. So after that, I just came and I did a copy on marker paper, and if you can see on the back, it's exactly the same markers that I use. Now you will notice that when you're using the marker paper, the colors are not so strong and they're not so brilliant. So you kind of get used to that also, but it takes the color a little bit better, and more than anything, it takes the pencils, I think, much better. So after I worked on this one, I worked on the shadows, and I marked a few of the details on the floor. I marked the fridge and the stove. I went over most of the objects with the fine pen. Let me see this one here. So I used this one just to go over. Now, the objects that are, some of them I did use the straight edge and my square, for example, on the walls. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see very close, but some of the wall has still little parts where it's white, and that's okay. You're just marking the walls. Now you're ignoring. Remember, you can always fix and correct a little later. So if it went over the edge, it's not too difficult. Just, go with the pen and mark it. So some of the objects, the ones that are very straight, I did with a straight edge, and some of them I did it just freehand. I also mark, as you can see with the medium pen, I marked a little bit of where I think the darker lines will be. For example, here on the back of this credenza, we probably will cast a very dark shadow. And in this side, so if the light was hitting from the windows, you will see that the lighted area, should be on that side, and the darker area. And as long as you keep it consistent, I think you kind of acquire that three-dimensional. Now, if you can see, I concentrated on this area because in this project, I just wanted kind of to show the kitchen area. I still did a little bit of the couch and all that, but then I wasn't too excited about the color. So I did a few more with the copies that I have in different colors. And this is a very easy way to kind of show the client how would it be, if you change the furniture, and kind of give them an idea that how, the interior is going to look. I think I'm still not completely satisfied exactly how the couches and the colors, and I tried a few, how will they look, just combining and trying to use in different quantities the same colors that I already use in the interior. But this is kind of a fun way to show the person, how is it going to look in it overall. And remember, you're just giving them an idea. You still have a little samples of each one of the, the finish, the countertop finish. You will have maybe a little piece of the wood on the floors. And you will have a little piece, of the fabric that is going to go on the couch, or the wood that is going to be on the furniture and the credenza. So after I did all that, I kept, thinking that probably the one that I think it worked the best, although I didn't want to do a full one, it will still be the floor with the tile. And I don't know if you agree with me, but somehow it goes better with, you know, the finishes in here. In any case, that's pretty much, you know, for the plan view. So once you have that, and the cool part about this is that you can photograph the different combinations, you know, without doing this and without gluing it. We used to glue it before, but without gluing, you can photograph and then show the client the different combinations that you could have. And also, I kind of really liked and enjoyed that they were just white, you know. That way, this area is the one that's really popping up. So let's put this aside, and I'll show you by the time we get to the elevation. So here is one. I haven't finished the walls or done anything with the kitchen windows, you know, with the dining area. But as I said, the emphasis is on the kitchen. So just doing the cabinets, you know, and kind of showing the different combinations and possibilities how you can render the space. So I did this view, and now I did different combinations of different, you know, how will it be if one was painted, one was wood, if all was wood and these two were painted. Those are two dishwashers, and this is another wall actually that is closer to you. And, you know, just making sure that I not only think about how it's going to look, but I really do it on the rendering so I know how it's going to look, and I can show my client, you know, the different combinations. So that's another combination on having all of this area painted, this out of made out of wood, those two drawers under the dishwashers. Now the two drawers are painted. The top where the sink is painted, and the two others are with the wood. And, you know, I play a little bit with the glass. Definitely, this is a little bit more than sometimes you have to do, but it's not a bad exercise to just try and, you know, look at it and then make a decision. And hopefully the decision you make, you will be very happy with that.